Hey everybody, welcome to Glow Up Handbook. Today we're going to be starting my 30-day beginner yoga flexibility challenge. So this is going to be broken up into 30 days, 5 dates for each area of yoga that we're going to explore. This will be flexibility based, but we're going to have some strength training exercises mixed in as well, so you can see the variety of things yoga has to offer you. Flexibility is just my favorite, and I know that I've seen a lot of people with flexibility-based New Year's resolutions this year. So here's going to be the breakdown of this challenge. The first 5 days will be very gentle, and we're going to be focusing on floor-based movements. So this is going to be things like child's pose, puppy pose, which is one of my favorites, lying down stretches. That's going to be the focus of the first 5 days. So very, very gentle. I would recommend this challenge for anyone, even if you're more advanced, because it is good to get back to the basics, learn form. So when you're going into some of these more advanced stretches, you're kind of refreshed on what that form looks like, so you're nice and safe. This is also going to be great if you're like sore and trying to recover from a workout. So then we're going to move on to days 5 through 10, which is what we're going to get into hands and knees based posture. So a lot of spinal movements, going back to child's pose, cobras, bridges, wrist care. Some of these movements you may not know yet, and it may sound like I'm speaking French to you, but that is okay because I'm going to walk you through them all step by step with plenty of modifications, so don't worry. Then we're going to move on to days 10 through 15, which is when we're going to start with one of the most common poses in yoga, which is downward facing dog. So with downward dog, we're going to really get into some strength with some planks, some hip opening. Lots of variety is going to be added in when we get to the down dog portion of this challenge. Then we're moving on to days, I think we're at 20 through 25. No, I'm sorry, 15 through 20. And we're going to be doing standing base poses. So Warrior 3, all kinds of forward folds, really dialing in on balance is going to be the portion of this challenge here. Then we're going to be going on to days 20 through 25. That's going to be full body flexibility, hips, hamstrings, quad, shoulders, head to toe flexibility. The last 5 days, and don't let this scare you, but is going to be prep for some of the more advanced poses that you may have on your mind for the future, splits, wheel, back bends, things like that. We're not going to be doing those full poses because this is a beginner challenge, but I want to start teaching you some of the prep for these poses so you know how to stretch and prepare, because as I'm sure you know, you don't just get there. It's lots of time and preparation. So I want to set you up for success in getting these poses, and that's what we're going to do in the last 5 days of this challenge. So if you have any questions, leave them down below. I can't wait to do this challenge with you. After the flow that you do, check in the comments so we're keeping each other motivated. If you see somebody else do the challenge, reply, wish them good job. Let's really make this community here. Even if you're seeing this a little bit later in the year, please feel free to jump in and check in. I'll be checking the comments regardless. So without further ado, let's get started on the first flow. And thank you guys for being here. If you like this and want to see more, be sure to like and subscribe. Bye.
So everybody, we're going to get started with day 1 of the challenge. Like I said earlier, we're going to start very gentle on the floor. So I want you to start in child's pose. What that means for this pose is you're going to be knees together, forehead down, and your arms behind you. There's several different variations of child's pose, and we are going to do quite a few here in the first few minutes of this flow. We're going to start out here for just a moment. This is really good for opening up the back, resting your body. This is a great place if ever a flow is too intense to come back to. I want you to focus on your breathing throughout this flow. Awesome. So what you're going to do is you're going to spread your knees a little bit wider. They can come wider than me, a lot less wide than me, whatever is comfortable. This is another variation of child's pose. You can come onto your arms, elbows, or all the way down to the ground depending on how open you feel. I will stay on my elbows here. With this pose, you want to think core in and engaged. We're opening up a little bit into our hips and inner thighs here. This is probably the variation of child's pose I do the most often. Then what we're going to do is you're going to walk yourself to the left side, so opening in the side body. Again, you can be on your hands, elbows, or all the way down. Awesome. So go ahead and walk yourself to the other side. Same variations are available to you. When you breathe throughout these flows for the next 30 days, I want you to think of breathing in, holding for a beat and then breathing out. If things get intense, try to hold for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And repeat. Beautiful. So now we're just going to walk side to side. So I'm on my hands and I'm just crossing one arm over the other, coming side to side. A little bit of active flexibility, which means we're moving within our range of motion we have available here. Beautiful. Come back to center. Extend your left hand to the sky, and then you're going to twist it underneath you. You can bring your shoulder to the ground as I showed there, or take a block and place your shoulder on the block to lift the earth a little bit. So again, your shoulder on the ground is going to be more advanced. Shoulder on the block will soften it a little bit. And then I just want you to pulse your top hand back as much as you can. You're just pulsing back, 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 back. Then switch sides, extending your right hand to the sky, either coming down onto the floor or onto the block. Once you get into the position that you like, you're going to extend your top hand to the sky and pulse back, 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 back. Keep going. Awesome. So I want you to go into all fours really quickly, but you're going to slide down so your forehead is on the earth. You can either place your forehead on the earth or your chin if you feel more open. You want to think keeping your hips above your knees. It's probably one of my favorite poses. I love this one. I think it feels so good. Good for digestion, opening your core, your back. Then we're going to open up into our triceps and shoulders. So I want you to place the block on your left side. You're going to place your elbow and then place your hand towards your mid-back. If you can't reach your mid-back, that's totally fine. Just hold it as far back as you can. This will, no matter where you're at, be a wonderful tricep stretch. You're going to feel it deeply. And then as you advance, if you do get more flexible, you can always stack 2, 3 blocks there. You can always take things up a notch. Beautiful. Now switch sides, place it on your right side, place your elbow on the block and reach towards your mid-back as far as you can. Breathing. Awesome job. Now grab your other block and you guessed it, we're going to do elbows on both blocks, reaching towards your mid-back as much as you can. Beautiful job, guys. Slide back into puppy pose. We're going to try extending one leg, then the other. You can just slightly lift or go all the way. Going right, left. I'm keeping my forehead down. Right. Again, you can just barely lift the knee. Left. A really advanced version of puppy, keep switching, is to extend both legs. By no means if you're a beginner to try that today, but I like to tell you in case there's any advanced people watching or you start to get more flexible and want to level up later on. Now go back to child's pose, knees together, arms behind you, that first variation that we took. And just rest and breathe. Awesome. I want you to roll all the way forward now onto your belly. We're going to work with some back bends. So we're going to do a nice little active stretch. This will be really fun. So round forward all the way to the floor. Push up with your hands, and then arching your back, push back into that child's pose with wide knees. So round forward, push up with your hands, arch back, round forward to the floor, push with your hands, and now try rounding back, then arching forward. So same thing, you're going to the floor, pushing up with your hands, round your back backwards, then arch your back forwards. It can be a small arch, as big as or small as you like. Hands and round, arch and forward, hands and round, arch and forward. Beautiful. So come all the way down to lying, push up with your hands and bend your left leg. This is called Cobra pose. What I want you to do, and it's really important, is think of keeping your core engaged to protect your low back. Super, super important as you get more flexible. With your left leg, you're keeping it bent. Eventually in the future, you can start to reach that foot towards the head. But for today, just getting as far as you can. Getting it towards the head takes immense flexibility in the back and quad openings. Push up again, drop and push up, and then bend your right leg. Again, core engaged. Beautiful. Roll all the way down now. You're going to take your left arm, bend it next to you, and then take your right toes and bring them around. So I'm showing it here on screen. So you're lying on your belly, arm bent beside you, and just roll over so your toes are on the ground. If this is too much, take a block and place your toe on that block. If you're less flexible, you can bring your foot more towards your foot. If you're more flexible, you can bring it more towards the arm. This is a great chest and shoulder opener. Then switching sides, take your right arm, bend it, and then you can kind of see on the side, you're going to bring your left leg in back of you. So you can bring it closer to your foot, closer to your shoulder. You can also place a block under that foot. Good job, guys. Push up now to Cobra again, core engaged, and bend both feet. Beginner is to bring your feet down more. More advanced would bring it more towards your head. You'll see this one a lot in some of my other flows. Go ahead and drop your feet, drop your belly. Coming onto your fingertips, we're just going to wave up and down just a few times. So go up in Cobra, roll down. It's okay if it's not graceful yet, you'll get there. Roll up, roll down, and then just rest. Lie all the way down, forehead on your hands. You can shake out your legs a little bit. Just let your whole body melt into the earth and breathe. Breathe. Beautiful. So we're going to take a gentle quad stretch. You're going to reach your left hand back for your left foot. The closer you bring it in, the more intense the stretch will be. If you do want the intense stretch, I'll show you right now. You're going to flip your grip and bring it in. But this is a beginner flow, so I'm going to take it here. If you can't reach your foot, totally okay. Just grab a strap and wrap it around the foot to pull in. If you need an example of that, drop it below in the comments and I'll show you. I'll make a video on it. Awesome. Switch sides, so reaching for your right foot. If this is too easy, bring it in, flipping the grip. If it's too hard, then you're going to wrap a strap around your foot and pull in that way. You're probably going to need blocks throughout this entire series so you can be prepped in advance. I'm trying to remember to put it in the beginning of the video. But anytime you do this challenge, remember you will need 2 blocks and probably a strap as well. Awesome. So you're going to come to seated and roll all the way onto your back, bringing your knees to your chest. Just rock side to side a little bit here, massaging your low back. This should feel really good. Another great relaxing yoga stretch to come into when you're sore or tired or need a little self-love. Beautiful. Now plant your feet on the earth, feet in, and you're going to lift your hips. You should feel it in your glutes. We're just going to hold here. Good strengthening yoga exercise. If you want to make it a little more feminine and pretty, you can come onto your tiptoes. But we will do in this beginner series a sensual beginner flow where I'll show you lots of sensual yoga moves. So stay tuned for that within the next week. Holding. This is building strength. It's also the precursor to wheel pose and back bends if that's a future goal of yours. Now lift and drop, building that strength there. Lift, drop, lift, drop, lift, drop, lift, drop. Told you there'll be some strength in here. It can't be all stretching. Drop, lift, drop, lift, drop. Strength is very important for good flexibility to keep you safe. Lift, drop, and relax. So you're going to come up to seated here. Grab a strap. I use this resistance band because my strap was in the garage and I was too lazy to go get it, but you can use a yoga strap or a belt, whatever you have. Bring it around your foot. You're going to use that strap to go to side to side. You're going to center to the side. You can keep your legs bent as I'm showing, or you can straighten the leg. Try to straighten it as much as you can though. I am showing the bent leg variation. Just bringing it out and in. And then on your last one, you're going to bring it to center and hold. So you can bring it all the way up as I just did or pull it in. What I want you to do though is focus on keeping your leg straight. I don't care how far back it is. Straight is the goal to really open that hamstring. Really good hamstring stretch, especially if you're sore. Only a few minutes left in this flow, less than 3, so hang in there with me. Awesome. So we're going to switch sides, planting that right leg, wrapping the strap around the left foot. Bent or straight, you're going to bring it out and in, out and in. Flexibility throughout an entire range of motion is so important. Out and in, especially if you want to be able to use that flexibility off the floor. Out and in, out and in, out and in. And hold. Straight leg, so it can be all the way up or pulled in. Engage that leg to keep it super straight. Like I could probably be doing more engagement here. Awesome. Come on out of the strap and you're going to go onto one side. So prop yourself up on the elbow, come onto your left hip, and then extend your right leg. The leg can be directly up, so not pulled in at all, but just trying to keep it straight, just like before, or you can go all the way in just like that. But I'm going to keep it up here since this is a beginner flow. So just focus on keeping it straight. You can point the toe too. I really need a tan. That's what I'm seeing here. If anyone has like a good tanning product that they use or supplement, I've seen some like supplements too, or like salon that's a chain, please let me know because girlie needs a tan. That's what I'm seeing in this video. So yeah, you can keep it all the way up. You can pull it in. You can pull it behind you. Lots of options with the strap here, but we're going to keep it pretty simple since this is for beginners. Remember when you see me do this bendy stuff, I've been doing this a long time. You're going to get there too, and probably a lot faster than I did. Awesome. Come on out of that. We're wrapping up here. Roll onto your back. Extend your legs. This is called Shavasana. This will be a favorite of yours. Well, there's like 2 camps. Either people love it or hate it. Let me know which one you fall into. I have trouble resting, so I hate it, but some days I love it. Put your hands behind you. Keep them open to the sky, or you can place them on your lower belly and your heart. Thank you guys so much for flowing. Be sure to like and subscribe. There's 30 videos in 30 days. Love you guys so much and have a great day.